Let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this before you answer. When's the last time you felt genuinely alive doing the work? Not because of what it was going to get you, but because of what it was making you. Most people can't answer that, and that tells me everything. See, we've built a culture, a whole system, around chasing the finish line. The number in the bank, the title on the door, the body in the mirror, and I get it. Those things matter. I'm not going to stand here and tell you ambition is the enemy, but here's what I know after decades of working with the most successful people on the planet. The ones who burn out, they were addicted to results. The ones who last, they fell in love with the work. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Results don't show up every day. Read that again. Results don't show up every day, but the work does. The discipline does. The choice to show up. Even when nothing's happening, even when the mirror hasn't changed, even when the numbers are flat and nobody's clapping, that choice is available to you every single morning. And if you can only stay motivated when results are visible, you will quit. It's not a maybe, it's mathematics. I want to talk to you about something I call the trap. The trap sounds like this. I'll be satisfied when, I'll keep going when, I'll believe in myself when. See what's happening there? You're outsourcing your fuel. You're making your momentum dependent on something outside of you. And when that external thing doesn't show up on schedule, and it won't, not always, you've got nothing left to run on. That's not a strategy. That's a setup for failure. The shift, the real shift, happens when you stop measuring your days by what you got and start measuring them by who you became. A workout you did, even when you didn't feel like it, that's a vote. A hard conversation you had instead of avoiding, that's a vote. An hour of focused work when every distraction was calling your name, that's a vote. And all those votes, they're adding up to someone. They're building you. The plant. The seed metaphor, built naturally. Think about this. A farmer plants in spring, and he doesn't walk outside every morning, stare at the dirt, and say, "Where's my crop?" He trusts the process. He waters, he tends the soil, he shows up for the unglamorous stuff. The weeding, the protecting, the patient waiting, and then after a full season of that invisible work, the harvest comes. That's not just farming, that's life. The most powerful things growing in your life right now are underground. You can't see them yet, but they're real. And every day you stay consistent, you're feeding roots that will eventually break through in ways that'll shock you. But most people, they dig the seeds back up after 2 weeks because they don't see any sprouts, and then they say, "This doesn't work." No. It was working. You just didn't give it time. Identity, not results. Here's the thing that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, how do I get the result? And I started asking, who do I need to become? Because results are just evidence. They're the byproduct of identity. They're the snapshot. But the process, that's the ongoing story. That's the real transformation. You don't become a runner at the finish line. You become a runner the morning you lace up your shoes, when it's dark outside and cold, and you don't want to go. But you go anyway. You don't become a leader when the title arrives. You become a leader in the quiet moments when nobody's watching, and you choose to do the right thing anyway. The process doesn't just produce results. The process produces you. The discipline versus regret moment. Write this down, I mean it. Physically write this down somewhere, you'll see it. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. The daily work, the early mornings, the focused hours, the consistent reps. In the moment, yes, they ask something of you. They cost you comfort, they cost you convenience. But regret? Regret is looking back 10 years from now at the person you could have been, the business you could have built, the body you could have had, the relationships you could have deepened, and knowing you had the time, you had the ability, you had the opportunity, and you chose comfort instead. That is a weight that never leaves you. So choose the ounces now, or carry the tons later. Fulfillment, the real thing. I've sat across the table from people who have achieved things most people only dream about. The money, the influence, the recognition. And you know what the most successful ones tell me when I ask what they're actually proud of? It's not the thing they got. It's who they had to become to get it. The late nights, the doubts they pushed through, the mornings they wanted to quit and didn't. That's where their pride lives, in the sweat, in the discipline, in the character they built when nobody was handing them anything. Fulfillment doesn't live at the destination. It lives in the becoming. And the beautiful thing, the thing that makes this so powerful, is that if you tie your satisfaction to the process instead of the outcome, you never have to wait to feel alive. You're already living with purpose, right now, today. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Stop obsessing over the scoreboard. Start obsessing over the work. Your effort, that belongs to you. Your habits, your disciplines, your choices every morning, those are yours. Nobody can take them. Nobody can time them. Nobody can deny you access to them. The results? Those are a conversation between your effort and time. And if you hold up your end, if you show up consistently, faithfully, without demanding applause, the results will eventually chase you. Not because you forced them, because you became someone they couldn't ignore. So don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And then get to work, because the real prize isn't what you're going to get at the end. It's who you're becoming right now. That's everything.